Hello, fellow faithful. It is Bulldog here, the world's greatest silver analyst, back with more CLG review, analysis, reactions, all of the good stuff that you are here for. It is week 6, game 1 versus 4 assholes and Blabber, more commonly known as Cloud9. We looked pretty darn good last week. I'm excited to see how we look this week. They said they were getting into Champions League.
3 games per week. Just highlighted. I've always had an advantage. The teams that
Hold on, my pets are being angry at each other. 1 second. Get out, Zoe. Get out of here, cat. Apologies for that. Alright, so they're banning out the Callista, they ban out the Olaf. Olaf is a good ban in general and against Cloud9 because it's a comfort pick for them.
Cloud9 has been one of those teams that's found so much more success than everybody else here in the league so far, and now they got to take down CLG. On paper, this looks like an incredibly lopsided matchup.
Okay, they're getting rid of some of our comfort in the jungle with the Lilia. We're breaking the Udyr.
It's an understatement.
I don't think the gap is that big between us. We can keep with them in the early game pretty easily, as long as we can transition into the mid game pretty well. Finn is getting a bunch of Kled bans lately, which is interesting.
About a 3-3 record, since Pobelter has actually come in, as opposed to the 1-8 start that they did have. So, if you were looking at like a 50-50 team, I'd say, hey, maybe this is a little bit closer.
The Rel first pick, that's good by Cloud9.
First pick Rel, interesting to see that the Kled respect ban.
I would like the Irelia.
Actually shown that pick once. Was something he was
I do like the Tristana as well.
So it's cool to see that respect ban.
The Nid
tells me that they're probably playing it a fair bit in scrims. But an interesting first 2 picks here. The Nidalee this early from CLG is pretty surprising.
That feels weird. I don't think Nidalee is as good anymore.
Perhaps, expecting that they could get that 3rd pick, or maybe, thinking that they'll not really have that.
Like, do we blind the Renekton? Do we take a Twisted Fate?
Is going to be grabbed up here by Blabber. And I just think that this first 3 suits Cloud9's style so incredibly well. CLG really has been a pretty big fan.
Yeah, this feels really weird.
One game didn't go so hot, the other went very well for him. And you can put Triss down into bot lane, so that is always a possibility there for CLG if they want to play this double marksman comp, and that's going to be the option here. So pretty interesting stuff. But
yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Nidalee.
Playing the CLG side of this draft, you're playing 3 squishy champions against Hecarim Rel, who have such powerful engage. And Kaisa with the ability to follow up.
Like, I'm fine with the Lucian Tristana priority. It's what we practice a lot. It's a lot of comfort. I'm not a big fan of the Nidalee here. Gragas, Echo, Morgana, all of them are AP junglers that would have been available, that I would have liked.
Stop splitting Blabber's attention as much across the map.
So we're probably going to look to put Finn on Scion again, and Smoothie on something like the Alistar. They banned out
I think that Tristana's an
the Leona
champion, at least from what we've seen in North America so far. Part of that is the flex power on her. So showing immediately that you've got both those marksmen, showing how squishy the comp is, like you've already brought up. We'll see how else it shakes out, but just looking at the first half of the draft, not a fan. On the other side, Cagel made the point.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see a Yone from Cloud9. The Renekton.
Coach diff, league diff, whatever. Rel's the diff. And she is here to make that difference known. This champion's so incredibly powerful.
No, Rel is so good.
They need to get her again because the champion is so incredibly effective. Locked in next to that Kaisa, the dive power.
And I don't know enough about Rel. I haven't played her, and I haven't seen anything terribly effective against her. I could see a Thresh being good.
Alistar would be singing the same song, but he ain't singing nothing here today. Shen and Renekton are banned out from CLG.
Maybe something that can just bully her, like a Zyra.
And
But
we'll
that
see
would
what
leave us
they
still
do
incredibly
here,
squishy.
'cause we need to see their
Surprising.
support,
The
and we need to see a solo lane. So there we go.
Yeah, the
All right,
Nautilus
support
is
locked
fine.
in with Nautilus.
Surprising to see the Nidalee team banning out the Renekton, though. You know, that really is kind of the most popular combo. But
But
not willing
we're
to actually
looking to
show
play
it.
the
I
Scion.
think, you know,
I'm
Blind
confident in
is the
that.
fourth pick, so they want to save their 5th pick for last. Perhaps concerned that Fudge would then just grab it up as a takeaway. But
Because the
with
Scion
Dragon's
is
open,
really
you could
good.
still
We've
go
been
towards
playing it
Dragon's
well.
top. Yes, there has been those nerfs on the additional mana cost on the cube.
And
like Ellerum was saying on the desk,
Lucian does well into the Syndra. Like,
a lot of the issues that he would
that's a
have
good
there. I don't
matchup
think
for
it's
us.
that big of a deal. But Scion also something that could work incredibly well. Knowing
So
that this could be going in blind,
I'm
you
liking
want to
everything
really
but the
safe pick
Nidalee.
here. And Scion is something that is so hard to punish, not only because of how durable he is and the
Yep.
fact that he is playing that tank, but
There is
because he has that ult
the
back
Camille.
away, but that is neither here nor there, as it is going to be Camille locked in, so it will not be playing towards that weak side. It is a lot of early power here with the Syndra in the mid lane. It is very, very powerful dive.
And
with that
I think
Camille
we're going for
plus
Scion
the
here.
Hecarim plus
And
Rel.
the
It's
Camille
a
is very
composition that
good
wants to go
there.
heavily
Oh, the
in.
Irelia.
But it's time to find out what the
Wow.
answer is. It's going to be Aurelia as the
Okay.
answer up for that top lane, very likely.
Finn on the
Theoretically,
carry.
There could be some weird flexing going on, but I am assuming that is Aurelia top here for Finn as the answer to the Camille. And that would be pretty exciting to actually see this matchup, Finn and Fudge, going head-to-head on these two melee carries. Can make for some
I mean,
pretty
Finn
explosive
will
plays,
beat the
but
ever-living
CLG
shit out of
has
him.
a very
Like,
squishy composition. They have to be able to disengage the engage coming through here from Cloud9.
Yeah, we didn't draft much
Looking at
disengage.
Rel, Hecarim, Camille, you know, all these champions that have such easy engages to pull off, the ability to lock you in with that Camille ultimate on
So
some of
we're
these squishy champions
we're
is
stupid
going to be
squishy.
tough. So I feel like CLG
We're probably looking to play kind of a 1-3-1 here.
Saying, all right, you have got to put the Hecarim down. You've got to delay his 6 or snowball the lane before Blabber can really make something happen. So a lot of pressure.
And I can go ahead and fast forward.
The
The Nidalee just doesn't feel like it fits.
Yeah, I can see how things would work out, but I feel like
The rest of the comp is pretty darn good, but we did need AP damage. But I think there are
the early levels here, you know, the Nidalee
better
in the early
like
game, the
better
ability
AP
to propel
junglers
through
right now. But
potentially
I don't know
really try to pressure
if Brox
We'll see
plays
how
them.
he's
I would
going to
assume
do
he does.
against him in that 1v1.
This is a
Shenanigans
clever
are
1v
afoot as
level
all
1.
the
Baby.
Smoothie gonna be sneaking up here into the brush, and Finn maybe gonna try to walk up and kind of like escort Fudge.
Yeah,
and
he's gonna try and
this
corral
round. I think
Fudge
this
towards the
potentially
top
could work, or
side.
At the very least, force him to level hook shot. You know, as long as he hasn't skilled, you just level your E and run away at worst. So
Yeah, that felt
not even gonna
have
get
to.
that.
that was weird.
Didn't even have to. Just walking right on out of it. I like the fact that they tried it, especially because CLG's at this point.
We
where they
went
are
for
already
it. It
mathematically
didn't
eliminated from being able to
didn't
go
turn
into
out
the
too
two
well,
showdown,
but
right, like their spring split ends after this weekend. So I want to see this
I
team
think-
experiment with different things in the early
Yeah.
game. I want to see them take risks and challenge
I
themselves.
I
see
like
what
giving
they can
Finn the
win.
carry.
Unironically limit test.
You know
That's what
what?
this time is for.
I feel like that would have
Like, I like the draft except for the Nidalee.
and the Aurelia and Nidalee come from the top side.
There are definitely
Because then the Aurelia,
better
like,
things,
you know, is
in my
coming to actually
opinion.
escort you in, and Nautilus is there to be in range to actually hook immediately. So yes, Fudge could walk out of the brush and skill his E and jump over the wall, but you can't just walk through river straight away from the Nautilus. There would be an opportunity.
But that
for
was
hook there,
just
and then
we
they'd follow
need
up.
some
So
sort of
I
EP
think
damage.
that probably
And
would
they
be their
definitely
setup,
would have
but
banned the
there's
Nidalee,
not
and they
really
probably
enough
would have banned the
lockdown,
Morgana
enough
too.
level 1 power there, but still very low risk for kind of like medium reward or low reward, honestly. So not a big deal either way.
Well, the junglers will start off on the bottom side of the map here this time around, clearing towards that top side. We know that early
And
on,
I'd expect early our bot lane to win, our top lane to win the entire time, and mid lane probably to lose a little. Wow, that was a really, really good trade by Finn. Holy cow.
Maxed out Irelia passive just lets him beat his opponent down with auto attacks.
Well, and he just
Holy
dodged
cow, that
one
was
hook shot
so
there.
clean.
So Fudge actually starting hook shot. We'll see what comes from this trade, as Vulcan will have to retreat now. But dodging
Ooh.
out on the hook shot was so
That was a good
big
try.
because he actually, you know, cues back, dodges out on that, then can step back in. And Fudge has no spells. He's level 1. He just used his only spell. And it is the fully stacked passive there from Finn that allowed him to get a tremendous amount of damage down. So that's actually a huge deal for the lane. When you go for a pretty risky trade like that at level 1, and you are on the receiving end of it, it can cost you your potion, it can put you pretty far down. So Finn with a nice early start there.
And hopefully Broxite can get a nice CS lead. This is interesting.
Down below 300 HP, Vulcan just trying to apply whatever pressure he can there since they have control
Yeah,
of the lane.
Rel feels way too
Rushes,
tanky in the early
no
game.
kills, no summoner spells, anything like that. The wave should be able to crash into the turret here just after they clear out these next 6 minions.
Lane.
Yeah, these guys are really wanting to go in for the PvP constantly down here, but Pobelter with
Oh,
a
that's a good
away from
dodge.
Perks, just keeping the HP nice and high.
And
Lane control remains.
Perks
well
is
done.
burning through a lot of his
He wants
mana
to stop
pool.
this from crashing. If he could actually
Finn
stop that
got a
from crashing,
really,
then he
really
could actually
nice
punish the low mana pool there from Perks, but he's not going to be able to do so.
back there
But in
to
that
get a
bottom lane,
Doran's
seeing
Blade
only a couple
and
waves
really,
in, that's
really
like the third
start to
phase of the
take
game,
over this
and all potions are
lane.
gone from both bottom lanes, so that is pretty crazy. Hecarim getting double scuttle against Nidalee does not smell good things for your game. Like, that is pretty rough. Yes, the bot lane one was off of their prio there, but I mean, you had a winning top and you're Nidalee and you didn't get that scuttle, right? You know, that is a problem. The fact
Yeah.
that
It's a little bit of a
has not
problem,
only,
but
you
it's
know,
not much
gotten
of a
any pressure,
problem.
not gotten any ganks, not, you know,
Scuttle
been
Crab
able to
isn't
attack
that
Hecarim,
big
but
a
didn't
deal.
even
They
get a
make it
scuttle.
out to be
He's
a
pretty
much
far
bigger
behind.
deal than it is.
And especially on a champion that likes to play from ahead with this top lane 1v1, just again bringing both players below half HP. But back to what you're talking about, yeah, Nidalee's a tempo jungler. Nidalee applies pressure to
but
the enemy jungler
Finn
by always
just
being a
gets
threat,
to
by always
absorb
being able to
this
jump
wave,
around, clear camps
get
quickly,
back some
go from
health,
lane to
and do
lane.
some good
but
things.
Broxa has not had any presence so far here in this
Pobelter
one.
knows
Pobelter
exactly
at least
where
knows that
Vulcan
Vulcan's
is,
here in the mid
playing
lane.
it
He'll
like he
stay
doesn't
in
know
his
that
forward
it's
position
there,
to waste
allowing his
Vulcan's time as much
his
as
bot lane to
possible.
get a free
Yeah,
back
Now
off,
we've got Blabber
doing a
who
good
mentioned
job
heading
here.
towards the mid lane.
Just kind of
I really want to see
baiting him
he's
in
just gonna
close
keep
enough
preparing.
to
He's not
believe
looking
that
for
he has an
He's actually
opportunity,
done the
but
super
not
fast
actually giving him
here.
the opportunity and
He's
doing a
already couple
good
games
job
ahead.
of
I wanna
stopping
see
the
Broxite
back
rush
there
right up towards
to
top
delay the
because
rotation
he
and
got a
just
reset off of that early
give
trade,
our bot
didn't
the
have to
free
use
back
TP,
as well
but
as
did
allow
have to
Smoothie to
spend
do
a
some
TP,
roaming
and the
here.
wave is frozen against
Very
him.
good.
So Nidalee needs to be up there punishing this Camille right now. Like, look at that wave. That is the perfect kind of setup to be able to punish on, but because the jungler is not up in this area, it's actually going to be Blabber up here first, helping him to reset that wave. And now the wave is going to be pushing towards him. Because Fudge was trading very heavily, Finn felt like he needed to start clearing that out, perhaps was a little bit worried about some jungle attention himself.
But
it
look,
feels
just
weird
look
to
at
see
the
role
CS
reverse here,
difference
and it's actually
Finn has,
Blabber
and
making
this
the way
isn't
up
going to
the
get
top side
any
first,
better for
because
Fudge
I
at
feel like
any
Finn
point in the
really
game.
managed the wave well, played the early trades well, has an advantage. This is a lane you should be attacking as a jungler.
Well, Broxa is up here now, at least clearing away the Krugs, but as you already mentioned, Isaac, the wave is bouncing. It's pushing towards Fudge at this point, so unless they want to fully commit to an entire dive onto a Camille that is about to hit level 6, there's not nearly as much they can do as compared to, 60 seconds ago.
I mean, you
Yeah,
could go
this
for the
definitely
dive,
does
leave
feel
low
like a
mana.
late
I'm not sure if he's
rotation
gonna hit 6 on this wave. It
on
looks like
Brox's
he
part,
likely will, but
I think
Camille with
it's-
Flash still available. I feel like you're kind of trolling to try to pull that one off.
I don't think there's too much reasoning for it, but definitely doing good things down here. Yeah, that's first blood and second blood over to Turtle. Bonk. Bonk. Wow. That's so good.
Div for CLG.
Best bot laner in the West, by the way.
Yeah. That was straight just
That's so good.
double kill.
I thought we would be winning that bot lane.
We can see this one more time.
Oh, that's such
That beautiful hook
that hook
from
is
Smoothie
smurfing by
with the
Smoothie.
edge of that. And because Vulcan was forced to use the repel and attract and the dismount in retreat, there's now
And that's a free dragon for
there
us.
is a cooldown
And Mountain
on
Drake is
ability. It takes
really,
quite a
really
while
nice.
before you can actually
Just because it
remount
gives
and
us
flip them back in, so they knew
a
there was no
little
way
bit
to
of
get there.
armor,
He has
like a
incredible
little bit of
boost
tank
speed in
stats
that dismount
to make us
form,
less
so it's already
vulnerable
punished
to
there.
the amount of
But
burst
already Blabber
that
is
these
6.
guys
This
have.
is terrifying.
Blabber popping the devastating charge.
Except that was trolling by Blabber. Finn doesn't take damage.
What, 1 rampage, 2 rampages? And then Blabber has to run away with half HP, so this will afford CLG the opportunity to grab themselves a free Drake on the other end of the map.
Yep, the mildly threatening charge there coming in from Blabber, but
Yeah, that was like
to be
a
honest,
zoning
Blabber
charge.
had 6, and he never saw Nidalee one time. That's already a dub. If you're looking at the jungle matchup, you're feeling so good about this. Blabber is going towards tank. He's
I mean,
going,
you're talking up the
he has
jungle
phase rush,
matchup.
so it is, the tanking
He
is
has
all about
a
the
camp
speed
lead
here. Broxette does ding level 6 now, so he's not that far down in the experience, but
He has like
despite the double
maybe
kill,
2
I am
camp
still
lead at
very
most.
concerned for CLG. We'll see if they can continue to snowball around that bottom side.
We're
Perhaps if
crushing
they
the
can use
bot lane, we're
lane
crushing the
advantage to
top
continue to
lane.
grab dragons
Like
here,
that's not the
that
big
could
advantage here.
spell
We got
good
first
things for them,
dragon.
but,
Like
I want to see
mid lane
CLG
is
try
kind
to
of getting
make
dunked
more
on,
out
but
of this top lane, because Finn has done fantastic in the 1v1.
it's
I do
a
think
wave
that they
down.
really want to be trying to
Like not
pressure
bad.
that and create this
Like
huge
top
advantage
lane,
up there, because that
Finn
is
is
a way
absolutely
to heal
smurfing
Cloud9
on this
apart,
kid.
to not
And I
have a
think
group
there
that
were
does this death
multiple
ball, because that's really, I think, how they're gonna be
analysts
most
that had
successful.
Fudge
You have
as a
full
better
push
top
right, you
laner
have
than
a heavy
Finn,
side lane advantage.
which is one of the biggest
You
jokes
can
I've ever
deny
seen.
that wing
Like
control
Freak Head
with
Fudge is
the
the
fight.
second best top laner in the league.
So, I guess the
Just
question I
look
wanna
at
ask
this.
now is
Tell
what
me
does
that
the lead
Fudge
for
is better than
CLG
Finn.
need to look like for this composition to stand a chance? Because you said during draft,
Finn has
CLG's
outplayed
gotta get
him
ahead. They need
at
to be playing from a
every
position
single
of power.
moment of
They
the
got
game.
the
He did
52
like
double kill on the bottom
Finn did
lane.
get counterpicked,
Broxah found
but
the Drake after
still.
Blabber's Keck W of a gank in the top side. So now we have to pose the question, what more needs to be done for CLG to have a good chance once that clock hits 20 minutes?
Oh, if you're talking 20 minutes, I honestly feel like you have to be 3,000-4,000 gold ahead, probably at least. I think it has to be a pretty enormous
Oh,
advantage
this
there,
could be
because I
bad.
feel like C9 have a huge draft gap.
Ooh, Broxah getting away there with the flash
Yep.
as Cloud9 had the advantage in the brush there. Having Blabber there first meant that they could turn as CLG wanted to come up and make the play. But now Fudge being ulted by Finn, stuck there inside the ult. He gets hit by the stun, but honestly, Finn only getting, what is that, 200, 300 damage out of his ulti and the combo thereafter. Pretty good for Fudge.
Yeah.
It was, and Finn seemed kind of hesitant to commit to it, so I'm a little bit confused why he went for it in the first place. He didn't even use his second Q reset, right? Because he actually hit the stun, so we get one free Q with that, and he hit the ulti, but he didn't even use that. So, you know, was concerned potentially that Hecarim was going to be behind.
Finn is so
Fudge,
clean
but
here,
if that's
though.
the case, why use the ultimate in the first place? Because now the threat of the all-in is much lower. Still, though, unfair to criticize Finn much there, because he has been doing a great job, has by himself created a pretty significant advantage. You know, it's actually been Blabber up towards top lane more. Of course, it has been mostly just that pure 1v1, but Finn has created a really strong advantage for himself.
Yeah, we just this is one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of the Nidalee. We haven't been able to do much with it. This could be really, really good. Oh, good 4-man.
And that should be good news here for the side of CLG. Cloud9 doing a good job fighting them off for now.
But
man,
once this
the
next
numbers
wave
advantage
crashes,
is just too much.
it's just
they
death.
will lose Vulcan. Sven's trying to stay alive and just go somewhere, anywhere away from this. Just keeping the minion wave away, but the wave has crashed, and Finn and Pobelter are looking for the damage here on
Good
Sven.
work.
Look no longer.
And
Ye
Finn
have
lives
found
there.
it. Oh, CLG.
We do lose a
4-0 here in the game,
tower.
2,000 gold lead.
Really nicely done. They
Well,
get the
we lose a bunch of
redive,
tower
and they
plates there,
back up their bot
maybe
lane
even
to
a
try to
full
answer the
tower.
top lane push.
Probably
Lose
not
the
quite a
full
full
to
tower,
that,
but
so
we
here
got
comes the play.
we did get
Pobelter coming in,
two
TP
kills and a
coming in
tower
here
plate
from
out of
Finn,
it.
utilizing that top lane
It does get
advantage
us a nice little
right in
advantage
onto
there.
Sven with the point and click ultimate there from Smoothie. Cloud9, I think, did a
And
pretty good
I
job
mean,
actually
gets
playing this
more
out.
gold under Turtle.
Vulcan's
Turtle
made it
is
pretty
so
difficult for
strong.
them, but still, at the end of the day, it's a couple plays.
He has 3
It is
kills.
those 2
It's
kills.
just a very
Of
good
course, Cloud9
situation.
is pushing back on that top side. I believe they took at least 2 plates up there before CLG's bot lane was able to get up to answer. And oh, they actually got the full tower. Did they have Herald as well? Maybe.
They dropped Herald. That's why they got the full tower.
Yeah.
So that does kind of even out the play. But we got gold on our more important members, especially on Turtle. He has the completed Kraken Slayer at 11 minutes, which is huge.
It's an 800 gold lead right now, and I just think with the composition, it's not close to enough.
That's
right
just
now
so much
to
gold.
continue pushing the lead.
So much power on the Tristana, and it'll allow us to basically get this first Drake, or this second Drake, uncontested. They are looking for a play here. Broxah is in a good place to counter gank. They know that Blabber is there.
So they do know that he is around, but
And
he opted into that
they
3v3
were ready
quickly
to
become a 4v3 with the available teleport there.
teleport Pobelter. Finn was pushing in
the time
to
for
Fudge
CLG to
with
make a play.
being prepared to cancel the teleport if he needed to.
Fudge is down pretty significantly in terms of farm. Perks and Pobelter trading back and forth with one another here. Pobelter saying, all right, bro, good trade. Nice back and forth as they're both at about 1/2 HP. Finn will continue shoving out these waves.
I really is a nutty champion.
Aggressive hook shot. Just keep him around a little bit longer. Remember that Finn has no turret to hide beneath, and Blabber was making his way up there towards the top lane.
But getting good dragon priority, putting soul right on the table for us, and a pretty early soul as well, because it's about 24 minutes, I would guess.
Grabbing their first turret of the game there in the bottom lane on that tier 1. The gold goes back up to about 1,500.
And Finn has his first item completed.
On that is pretty big for them, especially because they're getting the gold.
It is the tank Hecarim,
the biggest advantage right now,
which
is going to be on Wild Turtle.
I guess is people really like at the pro level.
Slayer, and going to be working towards his second item with the crit cloak.
And Hecarim does have a fair amount of utility, so it's not bad.
Really not many champions that can fight Aurelia when she does get, you know, that item advantage.
And Pobelter going the Merc Treads instead of the
as far as those duels go. So
Hex Drinker is probably the right build here, since they do have a lot of CC. Wild Turtle has a ton of gold. Finn is in a good spot.
I think that Cloud9 is not behind enough for them to be too concerned.
And like Sven is very weak. That's very big.
From the stats on the left side of your screen right now, Sven with the escape down here in the bottom lane from Finn, but never mind, a teleport's showing up. We don't have time to talk about what's going on in the stats here just yet. Finn might just get dove on. Nice use of the Camille ulti, able to lock him down, and there he goes. Cloud9.
That was a clean dive.
Yeah, they get that 4-man bot. They take down Finn. Despite
we should be able to get a ton of plates both mid and top.
He just can't create the space enough to escape from
that
but Perk's now potentially going to get dove here.
Perk's running away with the Nautilus ulti coming down. Turtle looking to go further forward. Broxa gets the spear, but he cannot chase beneath the tier 2. Blabber's coming in for the backup.
That's not a good engage by Blabber. He should just die for that. That was idiotic.
That was awful from Blabber.
That
was straight up trolling. What the heck?
Pretending, basically, that he was.
Yeah, I thought it was a juke. Yeah.
That he was gonna E towards them and then just turn around and clear out the wave, but he actually committed to that and just entered away a death pretty terribly. On the bottom side, though, Cloud9 did make the good initial play.
Yeah, that was
mid lane death. Turn around, like what are you doing? Look at the map. There's not even anyone remote.
Yeah, that was just infield by Blabber. That was weird.
Yeah,
and Blabber,
you know,
I've been saying for a long time, Blabber doesn't know how to play when behind.
Something, but that was really
he gets flustered.
Not a good look there for Blabber, but
and doesn't make a lot of good decisions.
Next Drake is spawning in 2.5
He's really good at getting ahead.
CLG did get the first 2 uncontested.
And fantastic when ahead.
Likely start to contest that here very soon. We still have no deaths on either one of
we
the
have
solo
a
laners from the C9
1,500 gold lead, which is really nice. The Tristana is so strong. Nidalee should be finishing her first item soon, and this should be a kill. Wow, we're doing that was a really good pick, and gives us priority in the mid lane. It's still not. It's another 2 minutes till Dragon.
So the rest of the team overall is actually a little bit behind, but Wild Turtle is just rolling in money.
Yeah, but Pobelter should be ahead at this point.
You want to be that far ahead. It is the Tristana.
And Turtle is so disgustingly far ahead. Finn is still pretty far ahead of Fudge.
So incredibly well with gold because you have the additional range, you have the safety to actually step forward, be aggressive in these fights, consistently get damage out.
Rift Herald here.
He is becoming a pretty big problem, right? You know, he
Finn has teleported if they do try and contest this, but they shouldn't. Oh, that was really good by Finn.
When you look over at Sven and you realize that Sven still is not even having his first.
Thank you very much to the people behind the scenes. Once again, bringing the gold up for us here. As you can see, Turtle is 2,000 gold ahead of his counterpart in Sven. And an additional 1,000 gold ahead of the second richest person in the game, which is his own teammate there in the mid lane on Pobelter. So Wild Turtle is in a great position on an incredibly powerful scaling champion at 3-0.
And yeah, I was right. This is going to be a 1v1, and we can burst down really hard with the Nidalee, Tristana, Nautilus lockdown burst down. As the 3-man unit, it doesn't have a whole lot of appeal, but they're forced to have Fudge in a side lane to at least match one of our side laners, and that's going to be their best form of pick. Syndra has to get pretty close in order to be able to pick anyone, and is very squishy and able to be burst down by us. So we're just in a good spot. We don't really have a lot of
It basically doesn't even
we don't
matter.
have
And at
much
this point,
vision
it looks
in
like
this
CLG
river.
is
We don't
kind
have a
of
lot of priority for this dragon.
setting
I
up
would
in a way
like
that makes
to
you
get a
think
lot
maybe
more
they don't
priority
even
for
care
this
about
dragon.
that. Maybe they're willing to just give it up and just have the Aurelia push it out, because Aurelia would have to TP here pretty soon if she even wants to be part of the fight.
they're
Looks like
just
they will
they're
give
just
it up,
giving it.
try to extend the gold lead for themselves. So they created the pressure with
We're
these
getting
dragons, but they're just using them
top
instead,
lane
trying to
pressure,
snowball towards
like,
the soul
I'm-
to just create openings.
Oh,
to get
yeah.
more gold. And it's going to be the mid lane tier 2 going down.
One
all
Drake
this
delaying the
space
soul
to
timing
top lane
for
tier 2.
second,
Now,
like
potentially even
second
more
tier
damage
2
being done
or
at
mid lane
that
tier
fight, and they're
2
gonna get a second
and
charge here. I mean, this
probably
round,
top
it actually dies.
tier
Someone does
2.
so much damage to it. They get 2
That's
turrets. Plus, they're probably
big.
gonna get the top lane one now as well, because Fudge isn't actually there.
And they let it
Five
charge
turrets.
into the
Two
inhib.
Dragon, but at least 3 towers, including an inhibitor.
It's a
tower.
li- like,
That is
I guess if you're
pretty
Cloud9, you
insane.
want the
CLG
inhib
now
to go
has
down
that
there.
mark. You know, I was talking about 3,000-4,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
They would need at 20 minutes. They're there. They're 4,000 up now. That is pretty incredible. They've done a
Because
good job
you'd wanna-
actually
you'd-
continuing to extend the advantage here. And
You'd
all
want the
is where it
inhibitor
needs
to
to
be popped to absorb
So
all
now
that
we
extra
bring
golden
ourselves
experience
to a
from the
very
supers
familiar crossroads.
before the Baron
CLG
spawns,
fans
but now you
have
don't
watched
get
this
that,
team
and then
walk up
you'll
to
have an
so
open
many
inhibitor
times
being threatened.
throughout these past
And if
few
that gets
weeks.
taken,
The
you're
early
kind
game
of screwed
was
for
good
Baron.
enough.
This
The
was a
leads
really,
were
really good
built.
macro play
The
by
foundation
CLG.
was established. Now it's time to make sure that they get the rest of everything done cleanly, because this has been where CLG falls apart so far here in 2021. Good early games haven't been the issue. There's a reason
Yeah, but
this
this
team gets
roster,
first blood in every
like,
single game. The early game starts off fine for them, but we need to see
Brock's,
CLG that can keep things
Poe
going to the
Belter
mid-game.
hasn't
Now that
fallen
they
apart
have
like that.
all 5 intended players here on their roster, I have not too much, but some faith that they'll be able to shore up some of those issues from earlier on, and maybe just send this
And
one
we're
home.
doing a good job of
Tracker
getting
has
vision
been,
for
like I
Poe
said, they're
Belter
3-3 with
in the
Poe
side
Belter
lanes, which is what we
after
didn't
that
do before.
1-8 start. So things have been
Look
looking
at that
up. You know, there's
vision.
some evidence that
Look
they
at
may
those
close out
beautiful,
games,
beautiful
like
wards in the bot
roster.
lane.
I've got to say, though, I'm pretty surprised that we haven't seen Blabber look for any sort of plays. You know, he got that free level 6. I was expecting him to have more of an impact. You know, the only thing he was really involved in, it felt like, was giving
That-
away that free kill in mid.
Those
lane.
wards are
Not
just
really looking
wonderful.
To attack top lane, not really looking,
And Finn is
to
doing a
be
good
careful
job
with Finn,
knowing
which I think
that
you
he's
can
on the
do
blind side of the map,
effectively. Yes,
just
Finn is at a strong point,
not
but
pushing
Fudge
it
was
out
protected on the gold, had closed that gap and was actually
and not
ahead.
putting
I
himself
think
in a
Finn would have
vulnerable
retaken that,
position.
given all the turrets that just fell, but still, you know, Fudge plus Blabber
And
should
we've
be able to
gotten,
kill off Aurelia
now
in the
he's
side
starting to
lanes,
push it
and
out a little
Broxah
bit,
really hasn't
since we've
been
gotten
playing
vision
around
of
him whatsoever. So it
everyone
does
on
feel like
Cloud9's
an area
team,
you could look to
and
attack to
that
get more
will
use out of these ultimates.
put us in a
So,
good
now I'll
spot
pose
to
the
be
question,
able
the
to
opposite
start
of what I
prepping
asked
for
earlier.
Baron here.
What does Cloud9 have to do to stop this? Because they're not. You said that you're a little bit disappointed that Blabber hasn't been looking. for
Teams
more
are gonna have to,
opportunities
like,
for
start
playmaking. We
banning the
discussed how
Lucian
much dive
away from
is
us,
just in this
just banning this
composition for
comfort
Cloud9.
away
Do they need to
of
just
Tristana
dead
Lucian.
lane? Do they need to force Baron? Because CLG is not making any mistakes that they can punish so far.
I feel like because you've already allowed yourself to fall this far behind, you now have to play the game pretty slow. You are very far down in the gold, so I don't think that they, guaranteed just win a
Oh.
5v5 anymore. I think at this point,
I thought Broxah
you're
got
trying
that.
to delay the game. You're trying to keep that gold.
But
even,
this is
slowly chip
this
away
is
at
a
it.
position that
And
Cloud9
potentially
has
look for
not
first
been
lane plays,
in
right?
much.
You need vision to be able to do that, because if you walk into a 2v2,
And so
you
I
may
feel
lose,
like
but I still
Blabber
think
is
that
probably
Blabber
gonna
can
make a
work to
stupid
attack the
mistake,
side lanes,
be
get
too
the
far
kill on
out
the
and get
side
caught
lane.
out.
Fudge is closing in on his second
They're doing a
lane,
good
and
job
at
of
that
knowing
point, he's gonna be one of the
where they
strongest
have priority,
people on the map as far as that side lane does go.
because
You have the
Finn
point-click Camille also
has full
lock him
control
down,
of this
follow up with
side
potential
right
tech
now.
play,
He needs to
and
back
try to look for
off.
punishes, but it's going to be Finn down here in this bot lane.
Wow, Finn already going in here. Perks having to flash away. Finn looking for the outplay.
Can he get the 1-for-1? He can't, but we should just turn onto Baron with that.
Shut down there for Sven, getting some
We
very
should be on
important
Baron right
money in
now.
his pockets.
Yep, and it wasn't Blabber that did it, but it was attacking that side lane. Finn has been playing very aggressively, trying to extend his advantage. He's on 2 items there, had the Stride Breaker complete,
Finn-
so felt like he could push that far.
Finn
Felt like he
wasn't,
looked for
like,
some sort
super
of
far
play.
caught out. It
Does
was
get
the-
caught. He does force out a
and
couple
he
of
was
things, but
prepping
it's a
vision,
flash
as he
and
should.
ultimate, and the shutdown went to Sven, which is some much needed gold here for Cloud9.
So Finn
Of
wasn't
course, at
Finn
the
wasn't
same
playing
time,
it terribly,
beautiful Belter
like,
pushing out
bad.
that top lane. So at the very
They had to
least,
burn a teleport in order to get him.
collecting
Otherwise, they
gold,
wouldn't have
also
been able to.
collecting experience, and we're
And
gonna
so
see
all they
this
do,
Tristana
they
hit
they didn't
IPL
really
pretty
buy
much
themselves
close
anything
here.
except for the gold
Well,
onto their
CS
carry.
dominant. They're actually just going to start Baron. There is a ward spotting this though, but they're TPing in on Baron. This could go really
Oh, but
bad
Hecarim's
for
so far
Bulldog.
away.
Didn't even sweep this out. Why would you blue trinket and show them that you know?
Okay.
That seems so weird.
No, that was the smart move because Hecarim couldn't get there in time. Baron would have been dead by now, and you wouldn't have had the smite. 5v5 is not the position we want to be in. Like we are not a 5v5 comp. They are. We're more of a 1-3-1 comp. So we have a nice gold advantage, but taking a 5v5 here would not be very good for us. That's not where we win, unless if we hit some really good poke or get a really good catch to start with, like that. That's really good. And Broxa's the person we would want most to get burnt down there. In terms of like team fight usefulness, it does. Both junglers died, so it does just give the dragon to us, and that was really good to catch out their support before they could engage onto us. And then they poorly, like Blabber poorly engaged. He made a mistake, got caught out. Let's watch that again. But, see, Vulcan's too far out. Fudge is still trying to go for a flank here. And boom. All of their CC is gone. Vulcan doesn't get it off. Blabber's trying to kill Pobelter, but he can't. And he just gets caught out. Too far out. Completely separated from his team. There's 4 CLG members here. They were looking to send Fudge around the back and engage onto the back line. But Fudge walked that way, walked this way, then walked back down, being basically useless in the fight. Sven has no front line now, so he just has to get the fuck out of there. Perks, same thing, and it just leaves Blabber to die. And we just take the free dragon.
Even able to proc his aftershock, went down immediately.
This is a really good pick to start the fight.
CLG to be able to actually get that initial kill, because if Vulcan doesn't die right off the bat, if he's actually able to get his combo out, that fight could look very differently. Instead, he goes down, Blabber tries to ult in to try to protect him, and ends up just going down himself. So, you know, C9 do get 1 kill back on Broxa, but
they decide to try and counter engage, but it just doesn't go well.
When people are going for the Rel, and the Rel just flash RWs, kills the whole team. But in this case, they know that this Rel has been put very far down. They focus her, they knock her out before she can really do anything here. And CLG,
and that's using like the burst we have in our comp to our advantage.
Pretty big deal for them.
Oh god, Turtle just finished eye edge. Oh my god, he's gonna do so much damage.
Turtle is officially in carry mode now. As long as he's protected, as long as that hero remains in the second
he's gonna be so powerful.
See a world where Cloud9's able to win. They need to find a way to take down this incredibly powerful carry of Wild Turtle.
You have to like Camille ult.
They have, right?
Syndra ult.
Cloud9 needs to be the ones starting off these
to be able to kill him.
Coming from multiple angles, utilizing Fudge, Blabber, Vulcan, all engaged.
But we just have, we've been having so much priority in the side lanes that it makes it really, really hard to engage without just losing your base.
And yes, there is a locket over on Smoothie, but that won't be enough if you can actually perfectly execute that dive. So there is still potential for Cloud9 to win these fights, but CLG has been doing a much better job.
Just sending 5 to Baron, I guess. They will have to send someone down to respond to Finn here, otherwise they just have to like start Baron. That wave is pushing hard bot lane, and good by Finn to just respond here, keep on the front line, or keep on the front foot, not get caught out. This hasn't been a necessarily bad game out of Cloud9. They've really only had one major mistake.
Brings them to the point that we're at right now, well, where CLG looks like it's their game.
Like one uncharacteristic mistake.
Yeah, and then that is going to be really difficult, I think, for C9 to deal with. You know, people really
it was a Finn difference for the most part in the early game.
Is really, really strong.
Like our lanes were just better.
Of course, utilizing that ultimate can be nice, but I just think 10% flat move speed alone is so good. Not only for being able to kite out with this,
and they're trying to engage here. They might catch out Smoothie.
Smoothie's the target here as Cloud9 goes for the engage on the enemy
Yeah.
support, and they've got him down. So that's one.
That happens.
The side of C9.
He wasn't like terribly far out. They
Join up with the fight
used
here
it.
yet. C9
Oh, they didn't
shows
use
out
like
the
any
mid-wave
resources
just
to
make Turtle have
catch
to
him out.
answer it, and they're deciding, okay, the Nautilus was enough. They're going to start up the Baron and make
Uh,
CLG come to answer. Summoner spells are ready to go. Everybody else on CLG is ready to fight. They're coming in here.
They
at
don't do this
4v5.
very fast.
They must play this very well. Everybody on Cloud9 still has their cooldowns ready to go. Vulcan with the engage onto multiple targets. Brock's going to be focused here at the start, going into the stasis, staying alive. Turtle on a rampage, grabbing a kill.
Turtle going down, but now it's a 3v3, so we pick up 2 there, and we shut down.
Nicely done by CLG.
Yeah, we shut down the Baron attempt.
4v5 and potentially
It does.
they are pushing Cloud9 back.
It is an advantage in general for Cloud9 because they got the shutdown gold.
Got the kill onto Smoothie when Finn had no TP.
Onto-
They wanted to actually look for something here.
You got the kill under Wild Turtle. Who does it go on?
Blabber actually fully whiffed on his ultimate. Wasn't able to
Sven
kill
is
anyone.
huge.
Fudge did get on top of Wild Turtle there with that Camille ult though. Sven followed up, and he's the one who got
So,
the shutdown. So
that's very big for Sven.
I believe it was in his pockets off of that.
But he's still so far behind. Turtle is so strong.
As far as the itemization, and does have that Hurricane complete now, so he is on cheaper items right now, but he's catching up, right? You know, Kaisa is going to be very relevant in these fights, and we'll see what Cloud9 can get done from here.
He's 3 big items now. He's very, very powerful. And one thing I also want to point out, 6 out of 10 players in this game have their flash cooldown synced up because of that team fight. Fudge,
That's wild.
Ben, and everybody on CLG not named Smoothie all used a flash within a couple seconds of each other there in that fight. So if we get another team fight here before the next 3.5 minutes,
Yeah.
those escape
Well, it's
or
a-
engage or however they
like,
want to use that summoner spell
10 seconds to
will not be
dragon.
available, and we
It's
could see a
soul.
much
You pretty much have to
bigger
fight
fight
for it.
depending on who
CLG
can
has
call and who doesn't
major
have that
vision
same
control
job
here.
longer. CLG has control over the bottom side river. Fudge walking down here into bottom
This
lane to
isn't
shove out the
great for
wave, just make sure they
Cloud9.
have that side
Them
lane
choosing
prio.
to push that bot lane is a very, very smart choice. We're responding by pushing mid lane.
Just in case he needs to drop an ulti and blow somebody up. Broxa used his stopwatch in the last team fight, but he upgraded it to Zhonya's Hourglass after returning to the base, so he has that ready to go once again.
It is even level junglers, so it's exactly a 50-50, and we got it. That's Dragon Soul, which is big. Turtle doing a good job of getting the Camille off of him. Finn is popping off. Pobelter is free hitting in the back line, and we're just winning that.
That is huge, and they're going to get the Baron off of this as well. Broxa barely survives against Perks, and as a result, it is a super easy Baron.
And they
Perks,
used
no flash, no
everything
ult,
to
no
try and
TP,
get Turtle.
no
They did
chance
get him,
to be
but
able to contest
we
this,
are more than
despite
just a one-threat
landed
comp.
the Baron take
And they
after.
treated us like a
The
one-threat
fight is
comp
won.
and lose
CLG
Baron
have
as a result.
everything they need to close this game now. That is so big for
And
them.
Pobelter is
Huge
playing a
for
very good game.
CLG. So close to taking down C9.
Let's see this
Beautiful
again.
take on the Drake, and then the team fight just went down like this.
So Vulcan
Yeah, exactly.
only hit Broxa with that. Fudge is on the back line here.
Luckily, we see
Sven jumped into the back line onto Turtle. And Sven just kills himself to get Turtle here.
Sven was able to follow up and they kill off Turtle again, but Pobelter is there dealing damage. Finn is there dealing damage.
Like, Sven killed himself to
Strong
get Turtle.
At this point. So despite the fact that they eliminated
Which,
the biggest threat, they are taking damage from the
I think it
solo
was
laners here
in.
from CLG in the meantime.
That always used to
They
say
have
the most
focused on
important
themselves.
thing you
Turtle
can
finally
do
got a
as an
stopwatch.
AD
You know,
carry
I
is
think
stay
he should have
alive.
honestly gone into that soul fight
And
with a stopwatch
Pobelter dealt a
instead
ton of
the DS
damage.
sword.
This Lucian
Even though
pick
they're
is
so heavily
looking
focusing
very
it,
good
but
for
now that he
him.
does have one, you can't
Just like
all
he's
in
looked good
everything onto the Tristana
all
and
games
expect to
except the
win.
one.
You know, if
on
you
it.
see Camille just flashing on you to ult, you just stopwatch that, and that is so nullified now. You can't actually just sit around and wait the full duration of a stopwatch and hope you can kill the Tristana off after, while this Fed Lucian is killing you, this Fed Aurelia is killing you. And CLG have everything they need to close out this game now. It's going to take a miracle.
Yeah,
for it to
they're-
happen. They have
this-
not been able
this
to
should
find the
be
engages. They've not
pretty
been
much
coordinating
over.
on them.
And
Carries
Vulcan
are
has
far
not had a
back
good
from
game.
CLG.
Blabber
They're
hasn't had
only
it.
seeing Vulcan go in. He's catching maybe Broxa and Smoothie, and that's it.
Let's talk about
Blabber
that.
just
Lucian,
has been a
4,600
non-factor.
damage in the last fight.
Huge.
We've been talking about Tristana like the whole show is about her as the main character. Lucian just showed up as the 11th hour superpower, destroys the
Wow.
entire team fight.
That was just
ends up
one
getting
auto
Team
into
Baron.
Sven.
Awesome stuff from Pobelter. I feel like every time this guy's not on a team, he comes back onto a team, and we end up saying, why the hell was Pobe not on a team?
Yeah. I mean, it's been CLG a couple times now. All right, here they go.
Well, Pobelter now
They're engaging hard, but we get a nice engage under the back line, under Perks, and Pobelter is still alive somehow. What? Oh, just barely finished off, but he was able to stay alive for long enough for us to kill 3. We just get to walk in the base and win the game.
Nobody left to stop him except a Kaisa and a nearly dead horse. The faithful have been rewarded, and in week number 6, when they're already eliminated
this
from
feels
playoffs,
good.
it will not even matter. It's CLG.
Oh, that's a heck of a spear.
They'll get their last
And
kill here on
bop.
the spin. The Nexus will fall, and CLG
What a game.
upsets Cloud9.
Oh,
What a huge win.
we
for
are
CLG.
looking good. Holy cow.
Impressive from them here today. The bot lane, the top lane in the early game coming up huge.
What a
2v2
game.
kills, setting the tone
Finn is a
for the
monster.
game. Finn right off the bat,
Good
playing
game.
dominance
Oh,
there
I'm excited to watch
over
more of this
Bud.
team.
And Pobelter in the team